Okay. All right. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of story here, but I think it's important for us to talk about it because I despise censorship. Really, I do. I think it's not good. I think it's terrible. I do not approve of it on any platform whatsoever. I don't care who they are, even if I got a problem with them. Nobody should be censored. Everybody's allowed to tell their side of the story. Nobody should be censored. Nobody should be censored. Nobody. Period. Nobody. Dear X community, this is from the Vigilant Fox. I write this post out of desperation. A coordinated group is making my life a living hell. I've been forced to delete over 196 of my own posts in just the past 5 weeks. This includes simple thread summaries of Joe Rogan's podcast. I fear for my safety and my account could be in danger. Please listen to my cry for help. So, this is again from a channel or from an account, the Vigilant Fox. Hey, I just find it's interesting this is happening on X. For the past 3.5 years, I've been in the fight calling out COVID, tyranny, helping Trump win. Of course, hey, look, everyone's entitled for their opinion. Exposing medical lies, driving RFK Jr. across the HHS finish line, and backing Maha efforts. So there you go. Okay, but my work has generated billions of impressions and massed over 1.7 million followers on this platform. That's no easy feat. But the mission has always been bigger than numbers to push pro-human, pro-liberty message because the government has too much power. Your tax dollars are being stolen and no one's coming to save us but ourselves. So before and during COVID, they worked in healthcare. I was always quiet, never voiced strong opinions. Then I witnessed the worst assault on human liberties I've ever seen in my life. The verbal abuse and shaming and blaming of the unvaccinated, coupled with the ruination of people's livelihoods and denied surgeries, was too much to ignore. So I had zero presence on social media, but I knew I had to act. I couldn't sit back and watch COVID tyranny spiral out of control. So I started the Twitter account. The Vigilant Fox was born. Before Elon took over, my account had been banned 3 separate times on Twitter for the crime of sharing the other side of the COVID story. So George Orwell said, in a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. My mission is to keep doing just that for as long as I can. But a coordinated group is working to stop me, locking me out of my account over 196 times and forcing me to delete my own posts. Every single lockout is tagged as a paid partnership violation, even for posts that simply summarize a Joe Rogan episode or Bill Maher podcast with zero paid promotion content of any kind. Full disclosure, most of the flag posts were legitimate paid partnership violations back when I was naive about FTC rules and didn't include proper disclosures. But a coordinated group is combing through my post history, flagging content that's over a year and a half old. I currently produce a news program with Z Media, and we rely on sponsors to help the broadcast running. But even with mass full disclosures, the same coordinated group continues to mass flag my posts. Their goal isn't to enforce the rules. It's an attempt to decimate my business. I'm going to pause here. Look, I may not politically align with everybody on this platform on X or YouTube, but I'm going to say this. I've seen some stuff like this coming down the road. All right. And in many ways, a lot of people in independent media, after the last 8 years of doing this, I've seen it just get out of control. And I have been very fearful of just how powerful the vindictive censorship machine truly is. And there are people out there that are upset that Elon Musk has X. There's people out there that really want to put more control onto YouTube. There's people out there that are upset with Rumble. You know, I mean, when Rumble was being threatened by the UK for still having Russell Brand channel on and it was still monetized, I mean, I was like, why are you trying to silence and destroy Rumble? There is, and you know, I've had a lot of people 4 years ago. I remember, I think it was 3 years ago. I remember having a meeting with a couple of people, and this one person in particular was like, "Oh yeah, sure, okay." Well, I see it happening. So yeah, I do believe the Vigilant Fox here when it comes down to these violations that are happening, because occasionally this stuff does raise its ugly head. It happens. They'll go back to the past and hit you. This is censorship. This is a tactic that happens too often and too much. Now, we actually have played videos from the Vigilant Fox here on our channel. Same thing like how Case Study QB gets clipped from in the media. There's a lot of channels out there to do this. But what I'm worried about is the overall violations, and especially with this happening while Musk controls X. Each violation comes with a message. Please note that repeated violations may lead to the suspension of your account. Proceed to X now to fix the issue with your account. Now, there is one thing that I would ask, and it looks like they haven't been hit by it, but this is how you also can get scammers or people phishing into your account. You got to be careful. If you're going to get into the kind of media business, be it on any platform, Instagram, Facebook, X, you will run into an email that looks like it came from X or Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, and it's a scammer. They're trying to get your private information. I believe I'm being targeted because they know how influential my voice is. Every day I spend countless hours digging through the news and content, searching for what others ignore or hide. Then I break it down into easily digestible reports that often disrupt the narrative. Highlighting key points I believe everyone deserves to know, and I do it with as much honesty and integrity as I possibly can. That's fine. The simple formula has been widely successful for me. Over the past year on X, my posts have ranked up over 3.6 billion impressions. That's incredible, actually. That reach, combined with my ability to deliver hard-hitting reports in real time, possesses a real serious threat to the mainstream narrative. Naturally, there are people who want to sabotage that. Posting on X now feels like walking through a minefield. I'll be mid-post only to lose everything I had written before getting locked out. Even when that doesn't happen, the lockouts still send my account into a tailspin. Recently, Community Notes rolled out a robustness update that detects and neutralizes coordinated manipulation, specifically when note writers and raiders move in lockstep to game the system. The same concept urgently needs to be applied to post flagging. A handful of bad actors have been able to lock me out repeatedly for 5 straight weeks with zero consequences. It's shaking my ability to work and disruption the operation of my entire social media business. It can happen to me. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. Very true. If it can happen to any creator on this platform, and it can. So please take urgent note of this. They're reaching out to safety, Elon Musk. Critically, I love X and I want to see the platform thrive, but this kind of censorship, coordinated manipulation has no place here, and it must be addressed if X is going to live up to its full potential. Thanks for reading. As mentioned earlier, this targeted attack on my account has seriously damaged my ability to work and operate my social media business. To which I have to say, look, I don't like censorship. I despise it in all of its forms. I think it's something to really be worried about. And look, we've gone through this before. Our friends at INN have gone through it. Everybody has. Jimmy, Do Dissidents, RBN. We've all been hit by the censorship machine, and it can get worse. And I hate being in these trenches. I really do. It takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, all of it. So I hope that this coordinated attack is addressed. I would be concerned about it. The Orion Speckle says it's happening on Rumble too. I could see it. It's all seeping in. And of course, look, unfortunately, Seraph, you bring out a very good question. Why be so deeply invested in a communication space that's clearly controlled and exploitative thing? The reason why, here's the thing. Yes, the internet should be a public space. It should be, the public square, the town square. But unfortunately, we don't live in that world. I mean, I get it. I would like that. But we have what we have. And unfortunately, there is a full-on destruction that's happening before us. And we really, as a community, have to be well aware of our own surroundings and what comes before us. Be careful out there, folks. Be careful out there. The censorship machine is very, 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 very real. And it scares me, as it should frighten all of you as well. Keep your heads on a swivel and be ready at all times.
Radio station just censored the word devil. Clearly, we are on a different level. I guess you wouldn't notice all the rolling boulders crashing past your shoulders when you're taught to shift your focus lower, scream at all the pebbles. cheering on the bombers because you can't abide the rebels. But I bet you'll wring your bloody hands when all the dust has settled, when the last little limb is pulled from Gaza's twisted metal. Then you can say how you were led astray, and never once in all your days would you have knowingly supported all the genocide for which you clapped and prayed. But they baited you with unconfirmed blurbs about babies until you were filled with rage. Yet someone told you babies had been starving, bombed, and caged for nearly 80 years in Gaza, and you looked the other way. So regret, but make it fashion. Go and pluck that final petal off a hyacinth on Instagram for every kid they kettled. Every son that Israel imprisoned when they're little, that they tortured for a decade, then surprised with their acquittal. And when they got released and saw their parents and whatever siblings hadn't met the missiles, they stared right through their middle. Their eyes don't seem to focus, and their words are all but dribble, like they're pondering the darkest riddle. That is, how many false flags does it take to make humanity inhuman and uncivil, distorted by the revel? The crooked slant where Israel contorts into America, Biden bathing Bibi in a bloodbath in the bevel. I opened up my feed, and I saw children disassembled. Turned some music on, and heard the station censor devil. Imagine thinking Doja Cat's a threat to moral fabric in the single largest terror cell that ever felled a temple, that ever sparked a cleansing, that ever burned a market, that ever raped with bayonets or carpet-bombed apartments, that ever turned your water off and left you in the darkness, left you doing surgery on children while they're conscious. You sing the devil's praises every time you sing our anthem. You sing a hymn to him that watched us birth a million phantoms. You'll proudly wave his flag, and yet you will not name the devil? Well, clearly, we are on a different level. I can give you names, shit, I'll give you several. They say the devil wears a different face for every general, like a composite of the char he brought to fields of emerald, and the wail of every childhood we made ephemeral. So who else has left the stain of blood on everything they touch? Who else can starve civilians and they don't so much as blush? Who else has paid for Gaza being flattened into dust? If there's ever been a devil on this earth, then it is us. That's U.S. What an ugly couple letters. Feeding shit and ignorance to those it chose to tether. From the river to the sea, both are slowly growing redder. For the devil that you know just knows you better. It knows every gut reaction it could ever make you feel. It knows fear is that which wakes you up and gets you on your wheel. It knows just the kind of story that will justify its war. And the scripts are wrapped for World War IV. So just imagine my surprise to give the radio a listen and to hear such pious morals out of Zionists and Christians that they'd take the devil's name and try to clip it from existence while they carry out his bloody business. You would wave a fascist flag, and yet you honor not your Iblis? Name you not Apollyon? Hush you now your witness? Bleed the name of Belial till tongue is rolling listless in the man-made mouth of Mammon, as Lamia's whispers listen. When carts are wheeling bodies through the cities that we crushed, and the very air is rotten with decay of all that was, who else would censor devil yet behave as Legion does? If there's ever been a devil on this earth, then it is us. U.S., but not a unity of souls. More a mass of corporations turning houses into holes, turning people into puppets, turning puppets into mold, turning mold into nutrition bars worth their weight in gold because they're bombing every bakery and burning every field with phosphorus that never once has wanted for a meal. The devil wears a mask and it delights in the reveal, in that moment where the face is let to peel. We do not love the underdog. We do not cheer the rebels. We lust for all their blood until the dust has finally settled. Then pity just ourselves that we were so misled to revel. Proudly wave his flag, and yet we will not name the devil.